Michael, I suppose it's another tough test for you, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's as hard as it gets at the minute. Obviously, Lincoln are top of the league. Danny's done a good job. He's got some good players in, and they've obviously started well. So it's a tough one. We know that.
And how much can you take from the first half last week down at Exeter into this week? Because obviously Exeter, not a million miles behind Lincoln in the table.
No, there was positives to take from the game. That's obviously we didn't take any points from the game, so there was positives the first half particularly, and things we need to learn from the second half. So would have liked a point or 3 points, but if you can't get them, then it's better than going down there and getting nothing out of the game at all. So there was things that we saw signs of improvement from.
And obviously, if you can get the first half, then I suppose it's a case of building, isn't it? How fit do the players have to be, I suppose, physically and mentally, to play the way that you want them to play?
I think they need to be fit just to play professional football. The way we want them to play is there is a certain type of way, but also no two halves of football are the same either. So I think the way we conceded the goal on Saturday was a good goal. So for not many right backs in over the weekend scored that sort of goal from 25 yards, and it sort of broke our momentum a little bit because we did have momentum, and the lads sort of almost reverted not back to type, but sort of came away from what got them all the joy, which was the disappointing thing. But going back to the question, yes, they need to be fit mentally and physically.
And I suppose that mental fitness comes when opposition have the ball for long periods and you don't panic without it.
I think it's having a structure, having a confidence in each other that the way the team plays is the right way. That's not going to happen overnight. That's going to take time. That takes every day in training, like I touched on after the game. It's a mindset of how you turn up to train every day. Are you coming in just to have a bit of a five-a-side and go home and then play on a Saturday, or are you coming back to get better every single day? Because that's the only way you can create that culture and create that mentality of where you've got to be at it every single day, and then you pull your mate along with you, and then you pull your other mate along with you, and all of a sudden you can build momentum that way.
And you've had another full week of training with the lads, no midweek game. How much use is that to you as you get a handle on the squad?
We've been lucky really as regards to we've had no midweek games as regards to that. I know they're coming. But we've managed to get quite a lot of information into the players. At some point, you just let them. You can't just give them information. They need to take it on. We're fully aware of that. It is the early stages. I don't think it's going to be a quick fix. But the weeks that we've had in between games have been important, and the players have taken things on board.
Physically, how different is the challenge this week against Lincoln?
I think everyone knows that you got to stand up against Lincoln. If you're not prepared to fight, like most games in this league, to be honest. But if you're not prepared to fight, they will run over the top of you. So it's one thing that the players will be made aware of. That they need to stand up mentally and physically, and then have the confidence to get on the ball and play as well.
I suppose it's having that cool head that when you get the ball, actually, still play your game, isn't it?
That's the important part. Sometimes you can get involved in a fight and it's just a fight, and you forget that there's a football involved as well. So you need to match all that, and it is going to be tough. Like I said, they are the top of the league for a reason. It's not an accident they're up there. They've been up there the last couple of years, so it's it'll be a challenge. But we know what we need to turn up and show, and then provide quality within that.
Matt Bauer's loan to Weston's been extended until January. With the recall, is that almost a no-brainer?
Yeah, he's in a good place at the minute. He's a young lad, centre half, learning his game. The thing with centre half is, as I know from my experience, you learn from experiences, and the best experiences are playing. He's in everyday training, so he's learning that side of it, the technical and tactical aspect. But going and putting it into practice, I know Maka really well. I've known him for over 20 years now, so he's in a good place.
How far away is he?
Well, that's up to us to assess. Obviously, we get him watched. He's got all the credentials. I think everyone knows that. That's why he's in the door. He wouldn't be here if he didn't think he had a chance, as quite a few of the younger ones are. So sometimes you can't pick and choose when your opportunities come. You might get thrown in, and that's it. That takes off from there. Or we have to try and structure it a little bit better than that, a little bit more than that.
Injuries? Is it just the fullback still long term, or are there other concerns?
Sam Jones has taken a knock, so we'll have to wait and see on him. I think that's it. I think I've got to see the physios in a minute, so I'll find out for sure.